Welcome. Thank you for participating in today's webinar. My name is Stephanie, and I will be your NAHB host today. Today's session is being recorded and will be uploaded for on-demand viewing on nhb.org in the next few days. Dan, if you wouldn't mind moving to the next slide. Please note this webinar is copyrighted by the National Association of Home Builders and is intended to provide complete and accurate information on the subject matter covered as of the time of publication. I will give you a few seconds to read the copyright and disclaimer statement. And now I will turn the presentation over to today's speaker. Deanna, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deanna Vidal, Manager of Trend Consulting at John Burns's New Home Trends Institute. What we do is we research and consult on design, consumer, and innovation for the housing industry, and we also do a ton of trend tracking. So what we have done today is we have rolled that all up into the top 15 trends that we see happening today. I'm going to move fast, but I'm going to tell you now, feel free to message me on LinkedIn or email me if you want to see the slides or you have questions or want to see some of the more data that I talk about. We have 15 minutes to get through 15 trends, so I'm going to keep going. First, we're seeing invisible kitchens. Kitchens used to be for meals, but now it's used for so many other things. This combined with open floor plans has created a huge issue for clutter. The industry's response, invisible kitchens. We're seeing this happen in two ways. The prep kitchen is the first one. All of the architects we pulsed for their opinion included some sort of version of the prep or back kitchen. Sometimes we see them in luxury, but we're also starting to see them in smaller homes. It's a great solution for extra storage, hiding clutter, and even helping with some of the smells that come whenever you're cooking. The second way that we're seeing invisible kitchens show up is really epic storage. This is line K by Williford by Kayhoff. And as you can see, it's very streamlined, very clean, lots of great places to hide what's going on, hide those appliances, because sometimes you're using your kitchen for entertainment or for schoolwork. Our next trend is smarter storage. It's not just in the kitchens, we're also seeing that consumers want it in the bathrooms and in offices. You can see here on the left in the bathroom, they're actually using between the studs to implement more storage in the bathroom. Insufficient storage is the #1 deal breaker for consumers when it comes to bathrooms. That's before not having that bathtub or walk-in shower. Placing the barn doors on pantries and then able to be able to pull it down is a great example of how we're getting optimal, accessible storage in the kitchen. Our trend 3 is focusing on a healthy lifestyle. Consumers are focused on their mental and physical health. In our latest survey, we show that 76%, that's 3 out of 4, home buyers are more focused on their physical health, and 69% are more focused on their mental health. Builders and developers are creating really great solutions for both the home and the community. At the end of the day, it's all about supporting the healthy homeowner, not necessarily all about the healthy products. We could talk about community examples for days. Feel free to let me know if you want to know more about this. But when we surveyed 81 master plan developments from across the country, health and wellness showed up as the #2 focus of the community, second only to being family friendly. Air filtration is still the #1 healthy home feature, but we're starting to see other things such as ease of cleaning or getting really restful sleep as being things that consumers are considering being just as important. Reports show that easy to clean features and storage solutions evoke more relaxation than taking a shower or bath. Think about that one. Trend 4, privacy. We are seeing privacy be an issue both inside the home and outside the home. When most people think about privacy, they just think about, I don't want my neighbors to be able to see or hear what I'm doing. But we're starting to see as the home needs to serve more functions, having privacy within the home is just as important. We need to design the home in a way that someone can be working out. Think about somebody doing jumping jacks while somebody else is sleeping in the home. And then when it comes to that neighbor to neighbor, think about window placement. There's a lot of really creative solutions out there for how to not just have that large overbearing bathroom window that your neighbors can see right in while you're taking your shower. Maybe think about bullet windows or windows below the cabinets in the kitchen so that while you're washing the dishes, you're not staring at your neighbor. I have a funny story for that if you guys want to hear it later. Number 5 trend, focus on lighting. Lighting has seen a renewed interest, and it's happening in multiple places. It's happening in the bathroom, it's happening in the kitchen, it's happening in the home office. It is the favorite bathroom feature for 20% of homeowners. Think about that. 1 in 5 homeowners say that the lighting in their bathroom is the best thing. Not that bathtub, not all that other stuff. The most important feature in the home office was also lighting. Now that we're spending more time in our home office, making sure we have really great lighting, well-placed windows, or good supplemental lighting can really make a huge difference. We're also seeing our 6th trend, diversification. Homogeneous communities are being replaced by greater diversity of lots, product types, price points, life stage targets, elevation styles. We're seeing elevation styles here on this slide. This happens to be L'Oreal Park in Lake Nona in Orlando. You can see multiple different product types, elevation styles, architectural preferences all pop up in this one community. In addition to elevation styles, we're also seeing this happening in development planning. This is Central Park in Denver. It's a 4,700 acre mixed use master plan community, and it's known for its diverse street scenes. The community mixes builders, home types, and elevation styles throughout, sometimes even on the same block. It really does create this wonderful street scene when you walk through it. We're also seeing diversification of land types being ripe for development, such as old malls becoming residential communities, transit-oriented developments that are really taking off. And we even have a few clients who only build on infill lots. So it's not just all about that giant 4,700 acre place. In addition to that, build for rent is becoming part of the conversation in multiple different ways, and a lot of communities are seeing it as the latest addition to diversify their community. Exterior material changes. This is our trend 7. 40% of architects are mixing and matching exterior materials more frequently than they were previously. 8% of them say that they're doing it more frequently, all the time, much more frequently. They typically mix and match around 3 different material types on their elevations. We are seeing this rise. In addition to that, we're also seeing that they're being more they're just exploring more to try to find new materials that make sense. 1 in 4 architects say they use a new material last year for the first time. Think about that for a second. That's a lot of new materials that are needing to be explored. The number 1 reason was to achieve a certain look and feel, followed by envelope concerns and just making sure that that envelope is secure. Our 8th trend is smart home tech. We see that it's set to boom as key issues are being solved. We are integrating security and privacy. Todd Tomalak, who leads our BP team, says it beautifully. He has this great analogy. Smart product adoption is just starting to reach the next phase of the S-curve. Comparing with a mobile phone, so think about your BlackBerry. We're in the BlackBerry phase of smart tech adoption within the home, but we have many, many more roads and years ahead of us in order for that to be adopted. So we're just getting started. There's a lot of transition to smart home tech. And the reason that this is happening is that homeowners value the security more. When we ask a young family from New Mexico their perspective, they said, while smart kitchen features may be cool, they don't necessarily provide any real monetary value of the home unless it's integrated throughout. So we really need to look at the security, and we need to look at how it's completely integrated throughout the entire house in order to really make it worth it for the consumer. You can see here that private and secure smart tech really is what makes that the thing. If they think that they're not going to be secure, if they think that their privacy is going to be at risk, it's going to make them not want to adopt it. So we've got to get this figured out in order for it to really take off. Trend 9 is next level package delivery design. You're used to seeing the package lockers in the giant mailboxes, but what we're hearing is that a lot of architects are saying they have other ways to solve our package pirate problems. Half of architects now consider package delivery and package security whenever they're designing. 32% of the architects said they do it sometimes, and 17% of architects say every time they design a home, they are thinking about what's going to happen when your Amazon packages, your groceries, and your seamless delivery gets delivered to your house. Trend 10 is new home function. We're asking our homes to do a lot more, and it requires integrating new functions. About 2/3 of architectural designers incorporated a new room function in the home last year, in the homes they were designing last year. So that means those homes are going to hit in the next year, 2 or 3 years, depending on the type. A place to work or study, followed by fitness, were the top 2 reasons that they were integrating in these new rooms or new room functions, followed by storage or connecting with others. And when we talk about connecting with others, we're talking about visiting with people outside, so in your yard, or connecting with others virtually, which we are all doing a lot more right now. And did you really think I'd really get all the way through 15 trends without mentioning work from home? Of course not. This is a trend. We're not going to see it go anywhere. We are actually in the process of finalizing our latest trend report on work from home to see how everybody's planning their home office or their return to the normal office. When we ask consumers where they preferred their home office to be, 2 rows to the top across all life stages, either to the back of the house or upstairs. Everybody take a minute and note that is not at the entry of the home, which is where we see them a lot. So when you start to design your homes, think about where these people are going to be if they're working from home full-time, part-time, or maybe 1 or 2 days a week. Do they really want it to be at the front of the house? And then we're not only seeing it in the home, but we're also seeing it in communities. There's a beautiful example of a home office that is Zoom ready on the left here. It's got the light in front of the desk. It's got the beautiful artwork behind it. But we're also seeing communities get into the mix. Maybe it's a coffee shop with Wi-Fi. Maybe it's a community welcome center with some work zones that you can drop in, plug into. Or sometimes it's a co-working space like shown here on the right that is for residents only. And then we're also seeing secondary workstations become a pretty common theme, especially in smaller homes, because if you have a smaller, more like little pocket office, typically you can fit 2 into the home. So maybe both adults are trying to work from home, or maybe the kids need a study space. So you can start to see these flex spaces come in all different size homes, not just those big giant homes getting that home office anymore. Trend number 12 is compact yards with built-in function. They're growing in every place in the country that we can find. We're getting more hardscapes and built-in features, including outdoor kitchens for entertainment. You know, we mentioned earlier that people really wanted to figure out how to connect with people. And for so long, being outdoors was the safe place, but we're seeing a lot of people spend a lot of time, energy, and money getting their backyards to look the way they want. Even if they might not be large spaces, they're packing in the function. Trend 13 is sustainable strategies. It's been a hot topic for a while, sustainability. It's not the first time you've heard it, but what we're seeing is that it's rising to the top of priority amongst homeowners and architects. From the architect's point of view, energy efficient solutions for a home is continuing to grow. It's the #1 R&D focus for architectural designers right now. That's over half of them are digging into how they can create better sustainable homes. And from the consumer's point of view, they really want to save money. And yeah, if it saves the world, that's nice too. But this really does sort of tie back into that smart tech piece. This is a great example where you can use smart tech to do something that you can't do yourself. That's also going to save you money and save you heartache and maybe save some water, which we all need more of if you're on the West Coast right now. We see a potential for huge adoption in trying to figure out how to make sure that our homes are sustainable. This also ties back into the health trend that we started out with. Got two more trends for you. Did you really think I'd skip build for rent? The one thing I want to talk about with build for rent, if you only remember one thing, build for rent is a beautifully designed home, but it also needs to be more durable. So that's the trend that you need to remember right there. Last but not least, density is not dead. There's been a lot of questions about migration patterns. And based on what architects and land planners are telling us, we are in for continued density. Within pandemic, people have been moving, but even where they're going, we got to do more with the land. And so no matter what happens, density is here. You can't get rid of it. And we've seen some beautiful examples. We're seeing high density product types across the nation. We've also seen a lot of conversations around the 15-minute city, which is all about convenience. So if you can continue to create these dense solutions, even if it's not necessarily in an urban environment, it will help with the housing solutions for as far as affordability, and will also make it more convenient and walkable for the tenants and the residents of that community. That wraps it up. Thank you so much for spending 15 minutes with us. And again, if you want to see the reports or want to see my slides, just email me at divadoll@realestateconsulting.com or find me on LinkedIn. Whatever method floats your boat, send smoke signals, text me, and we'll see you then. Thanks.
Thank you, Deanna, so much for joining us today. As a reminder, today's webinar was recorded and will be available on demand on nhb.org in just a few days. In the meantime, if you have questions or feedback, please send it to nhblearning@nhb.org. Stick around after we end the event for a brief survey regarding today's webinar. Thank you all so much for joining us. That concludes today's webinar. Have a great day.